What is up, my fellow gamers? In today's video, we got our first impressions review for Resident Evil Survival Unit. Like and sub for more amazing gaming content. This was one of my highly anticipated new games for this year. And man, oh man, it has not disappointed me. Currently, the game is in soft launch in select countries. You can go ahead and use a VPN to get access. That's what I did. One of the countries that it is available in currently is Philippines. That's typically what I always do. Philippines gets all the soft launches, all the mobile games. I knew this was going to be a 4X base building war game. I knew they were just going to slap a Resident Evil skin on it and call it a day. But my gosh, this is probably the best 4X base building war game I have played so far, and I have played a lot of these games. I mean, I've been playing these war games for years upon years upon years. It's honestly probably one of my favorite genres of mobile gaming is the base building war games, even though they are super duper pay to win, and it's typically, you know, big whales, whale wars, fighting other whales, you know, who can spend the most money, stuff like that. But taking all that aside, just enjoying the aspect of building up your base, being in an active guild and stuff like that is all fun. Now, what really sets this apart, which I was really surprised about, is the storyline for this. They actually took this a lot further than I thought it would. When you first start off, you are actually not even going to probably know it's a 4X base building war game because of the exploration mode that the game kind of has. It's kind of this like story mode campaign. It's basically right here, the campaign intro. You wake up several days later in a hospital filled with silence and darkness. So honestly, this is kind of what the game should have been. When you play these little, like when you go through the intro, you'll know what I mean. When you go through the intro and you do the search log is also pretty cool. This is honestly how the game should have been. Like the entire game should be like this, exploring with puzzles. Man, these puzzles are really, really cool. Some of them are fairly easy, but there are some that are a lot more difficult than you would kind of expect. In fact, there's a few puzzles in here that are actually harder to solve than the actual Resident Evil games, which was very, very surprising. There was a couple that were kind of frustrating. You would want them to maybe be a little bit easier because you do get, you know, there is some frustration with a couple of the puzzles. Other than that, you know, you can go right through it. But the game does give you the option to just completely skip the intro. You can also kind of skip the search logs. So this stuff right here, you can actually skip. This whole like exploring and going through and solving puzzles, you don't have to do it. The game gives you the option to just skip it, and then you'll just start in the 4X base building area. I do highly recommend going through the campaign though, because it is a lot of fun. If you do happen to skip it at the beginning, you can just go to the campaign area and you can replay the intro if you want, which I thought was really cool. So you can replay that. You can replay the search logs as well. And it's awesome because they make it very theatrical so that it just doesn't feel like it's here's your base, build it up, go attack other people, steal resources. They have a really good storyline going. They really build it out with this lobby of the mansion where you have a lot of different things to kind of interact with. Like this is the radar, but you have to do something in order to unlock it. And then up here was this portrait, and one of the clues was the painting shows 9:30, and then I had to set the clock to 9:30, but I needed a mechanism. There's a lot of really cool little puzzles that they do throughout the game to advance you to unlock new buildings. Now, like I said, if you don't want to do that, you can kind of pretty much just skip through it. But if you skip through it, you're gonna think the game sucks, hands down. You need to go through all these little puzzles that the game has set up for you. like this, and then you can like move this and you see all these little puzzles and stuff, hints and stuff. You need to go through this to really get the full atmospheric feel. If you go through everything, you'll be like, wow, this is actually a really good 4X game. Like, it really surprises you. You even got these little bird cages where you got to use these tokens to unlock different buffs and stuff to help your base and stuff like that. Really, overall, hands down, an amazing game. I really love it. It has all of your typical war things, but with the Resident Evil skin, but very good storytelling. The storytelling is what sets it so much further from all of the other 4X games. Now let's get down to some more stuff that maybe you might not like. This is your typical kind of like gacha game with the heroes. You have your helipad where you will be summoning for the characters. The characters are basically from the Resident Evil series. We'll go ahead and I'll show you what the animation looks like. You fire off the little flare gun, the helicopter pulls in. It's a nice animation. And hey, look at that. We got some Claire Redfield files. So not bad right there. You have an advanced recruitment, epic. Obviously, the two different ones, the epic will give you a chance to get like the legendary heroes, while the advanced gives you just kind of like the lower rarity characters. If you take a look at all of the heroes, we have Claire as a legendary, we've got Mark as an epic, we've got Catherine as an epic, Becca, we have Marvin. Marvin is absolutely broken in this game. Marvin is so cool, he's so awesome. One that I highly recommend you kind of max out first. I will do a best beginners guide maybe soon, we'll see. We also have Brad. Brad's really cool as well. Murphy, we've got Jill, we've got Ada, we've got Carlos. But you can see that, you know, a lot of the big names are legendaries and they are really hard to get. In fact, some of them are really like pay to win, and the only way you can get them is through spending money, which I'll go over in a minute. We have Leon, we got Alyssa, we've got the army guy. I think this is the guy from Resident Evil 3, right? We've got Barry right here as an epic. We got Robert. This is the guy who owns the store in, I believe, Resident Evil 2, the shotgun store that you go in and he gets eaten alive. Then we got Tyrone as well. So you can see that there's like characters spanning throughout the different universes of Resident Evil. It's not just Resident Evil 1, 2, or 3. Now, where the game is going to get a lot of players is with the big two chase characters. So the first recharge gift pack, you see this in pretty much all the mobile games. You spend 99 cents on your first purchase, you are going to get legendary Jill Valentine. The problem with this is the only way to get any more copies of her files to star her up and really unlock all of her skills and make her pretty much useful is through the VIP system. So you can only actually get her files after that through spending and buying packs in the VIP. So if you go ahead and spend 99 cents, you're just going to have her and you're not really going to be able to power her up unless you spend more money. So if we head on over to the VIP, right here is the VIP special packages. Now, every time you reach a certain VIP, you'll have the ability to buy a new Jill Valentine package. You can see at VIP 2 for $10, it's going to be 40 of these, and then it just continues. VIP 3 and 4. Now, once you go ahead and you get a little bit deeper in though, this is the only way to unlock Leon S. Kennedy is through VIP 7. He is not even currently in the gacha system, and typically the VIP characters are never put in the gacha system. So you're going to have to spend quite a lot of money if you want to unlock Leon. So that's the downside of this game, is they really go very hard with the pay to win for the chase characters from the Resident Evil franchise that everyone knows and loves. So they're going to get a lot of people who are just going to want to have Leon, and they're going to spend a boatload of money to get to VIP 7 just to get this pack. And then VIP 8, you'll get more, and, you know, and it's just so on and so forth, all the way up to VIP 12. So these people are probably going to spend $500-600, maybe $1,000 just to get to these characters and have them unlocked. So that is like the really unfortunate spot. If you are free to play, the game gives you Claire for free, and you can get Claire's files pretty easy. So Claire is kind of the free to play legendary that pretty much everyone will be able to max out, whereas some of the other legendaries like the VIP ones, you pretty much have to spend money. And then even in the gacha system, you know, you might have to just get lucky and pull some of those to help rank her up and increase her star count, unlock new skills. And then on day 7, you get her exclusive gear, which is the submachine gun. So you will need to get gear for your characters as well, but that doesn't unlock until you get to mansion level 15. Mansion level is pretty much, the mansion is your city hall, your town hall, your main building. I really do like the exploration. I'll go ahead and I'll do one of the explorations so you can see it in action. It's pretty much like, it's kind of like turn-based, but it's more like protect the tower or something. So you're kind of having to defend an onslaught of zombies. You'll choose your heroes. We'll jump into this. There is auto, and you can also turn the auto off. I'll turn it on 2x. This is actually really fun. This is one of my favorite parts of the game. You got hordes of enemies coming at you, zombies, dogs, spiders, like all the Resident Evil monsters coming at you. The different characters have different abilities. Marvin can go ahead and he puts this like barricade down. We actually got slaughtered by this licker. All right, we'll go ahead. We'll do an easier level so you can see it a little bit better in action. But this is a lot of fun. Like, see, he puts down the barricade. It slows down the zombies. Claire's got the Gatling gun, which is really, really badass. We got some enemies coming from behind. You can also move them around. So you can kind of move Marvin around. You can move your characters for different lanes and stuff. This I love. This part is amazing. They need more of this in the game. And basically what you do is you try to get to the highest stage possible. And when you do that, it just increases your AFK rewards. The war is pretty simple. You've got 3 different types of troops. You've got your attackers. You've got the defenders. And then finally, you have the Rangers. So it's really easy to understand the mechanics of the troops because it's super duper simple. But yeah, we have our alliance. Oh, let me show you the world. So the world looks like this. It's actually pretty cool because you got like your zombies infected that you would attack. You also have some enemies that you can rally with your team. So we have the infected. We have the BOWs right here. These are basically the enemies that you got to do a rally against to get additional things. So that's awesome. There's also some really good events going on. We've got our berry rescue operation event. We've got our alligator hunt event for our guild, which is really awesome. We need to build this building though, and then we can go ahead and have the alligator attack us. But the game is a lot of fun. It's honestly a ton of fun. If you like, you know, Resident Evil, you're going to have a lot of fun. It's just, you know, it is a base building war game and it is pay to win, right? And it just sucks that they put the 2 most known characters of the franchise locked behind a paywall. Jill and Leon are locked behind a paywall. You cannot get them without spending money. So that's the unfortunate spot. If you can get over that, you'll enjoy the game. If you're a Resident Evil fan, it's a lot of fun. Stay happy, stay safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.